So today I'm going to work on this 2010 C300. It needs a new oil cooler housing. So this is the new oil cooler housing. So I'll go ahead and I'll replace the entire housing, and hopefully that'll stop the leak that it has. So here is the oil filter housing right here. So this is bolted to the front of the engine, and there's a few other items we're going to have to remove to get to it. So there is the tensioner pulley right here, and then this pulley right here, which will probably have to be removed as well as the thermostat housing. So let me start by draining a little bit of coolant from the system, and you also should drain a little oil as well, because once you take off the housing, you're going to end up getting coolant and oil coming out. So be sure to have a catch pan ready too. All right, so the first thing to do is to come under here and remove this splash guard right in the front. I just took one of the little bolts out, but there should be 10 going all the way around. They're 8mm. So go ahead and take all those off, and then you should be able to pull down the splash guard. So now that the splash guard is off, what I'm trying to do is get here to, this is where the drain for the coolant is, and this here is what you got to turn to get the flow to start. So I've got a pair of pliers. I'm going to go ahead and get that on there, and then turn that, and then it should start flowing. So I'm going to catch it in this container down here, and I'll probably just fill the container, and that should be enough since the car is up on ramps and tilted back. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to removing the belt. I didn't have any luck draining the antifreeze, so when I turned the valve, nothing came out. So I'm assuming it just must be clogged up in there. I tried sticking a small wire in there, but still nothing. So either the valve is not working anymore and it's broken, or it's clogged up and it just won't come out. So I'm moving on to taking off the belt. So to take off the belt, there is a 17mm bolt, I guess you could call it. It's actually part of the housing for the tensioner, and you go ahead and you get a 17mm on there, pull it to the left, and it'll loosen tension on the belt, and then you can go ahead and pull it off. All right, so now I got the breaker bar on there on the 17mm, and as you can see, as I come up, the belt loosens up, and then you can just go ahead and get it off of there. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove this pulley, and then that'll give me access to the bolts that are holding on the housing. So I started to loosen this up. I'll finish it and just pull that pulley out, and then I should be able to start attacking the thermostat housing removal. So now I'm ready to pull the hose. So I got that pulley off, that was right here. So now I'm ready to pull the hose. So I pulled this down, this is the retention clip, and then you go ahead and you just wiggle this out. So you should be able to get it. Don't try to put something between the two, the little flange here and the housing, because that'll damage the metal piece that's going around the hose that's on the hose there. So you don't want to damage that. All right, so I got the hose pulled out. It's a pretty tight fit in there because it's sealing on this O-ring here all the way in about an inch into the housing. So just keep working at it side to side, pulling on it, and should be able to get it to come out. So now I'm going to work on the bolts going around the thermostat housing to pull that. All right, so I was able to get the bottom bolt from the thermostat out. That was a T14, and then the top one here is a little tricky. That's what is this, an E12? That one's a little bit of a smaller, yeah, E12. So once I got that loose, I was good, but there's a little play in the vacuum pump. You can see it moves. So I was able to loosen this bracket some, which then gave me enough play to be able to get my small extension and my E12 in there to loosen that. So now I'll just go ahead and pull that out. So now I got both the thermostat bolts out of the way, so I can go ahead and just pull this off. So then we'll have all the coolant flowing down right into that catch pan, and then I'll go ahead and I'll fill it with new coolant later after we get it put all back together. So to give myself a little bit of more room around the oil housing here, oil filter housing, I just went ahead and disconnected this, and then you pull it off of the other end down here, and then you got a little more room now so you can get into this area for the filter housing. All right, so with the thermostat out of the way, I went ahead and I loosened up the filter cover here, and then what I'm going to do is just let that drain back into the engine and then pull the filter off so it's out of the way. So a quick look at the new one. It looks like there's 6 bolts I'm going to have to take out. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go ahead and find all those on the housing that's on there, and then as I find them, I'll just go ahead and put them in these holes, because I know they're all in different location. They're all different lengths, so we'll have to just make sure we get the right lengths in the right spots when we're done. So I almost forgot about taking off the tensioner. So what I ended up doing was putting the 17mm breaker bar hook up back on, so I can then pull the tensioner pulley to the left, and that way I can get you can get a small drill bit in right here, which my finger is there but you can't see it. I'll show you after I take it off, to hold the tensioner out of the way, so you can then get to the bolt on the opposite side over here to be able to move the tensioner. You can kind of see right here this bolt. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that, because that'll help me, because there is a small bolt down here which you can't really see without the light on it, but there's a small bolt down there that holds on the oil housing, so oil filter housing. So let me go ahead and take the tensioner off. So here's the tensioner I was talking about. I just pulled it off, and then here is the small pin I put in there. So you can use a drill bit to put in there if you want. That's, while it's down there, you can't really see it, so you'll have to feel around the side, and while you're putting tension on it, to pull the pulley out of the way to put that pin in. So then you leave it in there, and then you'll be able to access the bolt that was hiding behind the tensioner pulley. So that's probably like a 3/16 diameter pin or something. I didn't measure it, but if you have a drill bit, again, you can just put it in there, or an Allen wrench, you can put it in there to hold it out of the way. All bolts are now out of the way, and as I said before, I just put them into all the locations as I pulled them out. So now I'm ready to start pulling the filter housing off of here. So it'll probably stick a little bit because it's should be the original, but I'll go ahead and just pry in there a little bit to get it to pull away. And then I do have my catch pan down there because I do expect oil to come out, so I didn't pull any oil out. You can siphon some oil out if you want, or try to drain it from the drain plug, but what I'm gonna, since it's such a mess already down there, it'll flow down, and then I do have a degreaser that I'm gonna use to go in there and clean up, because it's probably been leaking for a while, so you can see the grime building up there. So there it is. I was able to pull off the old nasty looking filter housing, and what I did was I just plugged some of these hole areas that I had, because what I'm going to do next is give it a good degreasing in the front here. So we'll clean that up. We'll use this. This is a engine cleaner and degreaser. I'll go ahead and spray that on there and then wipe down where I can and clean up the seal here after that, where the old filter housing was connected, and then start installing the new. So now I got it all cleaned up as best I could, and I've got to now go around and clean up the surface that the gasket sits on. So I've got a small little razor blade on a scraper here, and I'll go ahead and run that along the edge here and just remove all that leftover gasket that's still stuck on there. And you gotta do the same around the thermostat housing, and then if you're using a new thermostat housing gasket, that'll make sure it's sealed nice. Also, if you're reusing the gasket you have, still clean it up, because you want to make sure that surface is clean. So let me go ahead and clean up that surface there. All right, so I got the new oil filter housing here. I'm going to start by putting this bolt in first at the bottom, and then that way I can pivot it on that bolt to line them up if I need to. But I'll just go ahead and start with that one. I'll just hand tighten all 6 of the bolts, and then I'll go ahead and tighten them down. Now it looks like the torque, from what I can find online, is 25 Newton meters, which is about 18 foot-pounds. So once I go ahead and get them all on there, I'll go ahead and torque them down to the 18 foot-pounds. So now I got the bolts in, I torqued them all down to 18 foot-pounds. So next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and take this off, and I'm gonna put the filter I had back in there, and I'm gonna pull the gaskets off of my old oil filter cover here and use those again, because it was only a couple thousand miles since I last changed the oil, so everything should be all set and still work just fine. So now I got the old filter back in there, and there were already O-rings in all the locations, so I'm just going to leave those O-rings there. And it came with a filter too, but I have no idea what kind of filter that is. It doesn't come with any markings on it, so I always use the man filter, so that's what's been in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the man filter back that I was using, and again, it only had a couple thousand miles on it, so should be just fine. So next step is to go ahead and put the tensioner back in. So leave the pin where it is. That'll give you access to the 2 bolts on either side. Over here are the bolts I took out. I just put a little anti-seize on the ends, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop those in and give it 25 foot-pounds of torque. All right, tensioner's in place. Again, 25 foot-pounds for both of those bolts, and leave the pin in because we'll go ahead and take that out after we snake the belt back on. So next, I guess I'm gonna move over to putting the thermostat back in place. So pretty easy, because it's only the 2 bolts, one down here and one up here. So we'll go ahead and drop that on next. All right, so now I got the thermostat in place. I just wanted to show you that you can get in there with a 3/8 ratchet and extension to be able to reach that. I did again loosen this a little bit here, this bolt for the vacuum pump bracket, which made it a little looser and gave me the room I needed to be able to get that in there. So now with that in there, I'll just go ahead and torque that down. So this is 2 bolts at 18 foot-pounds. All right, next up is that idle pulley that I took off. So that's just gonna sit right there. So I'll go ahead and get that on there. figure out what the torque's supposed to be. So that idle pulley gets torqued down to 25 foot-pounds, and we're there. So here's the belt pattern. So I went ahead and routed the belt. Now that the belt is routed, I pulled the small pin in the tensioner. So everything should be good, nice and tight. So next thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and put the hose back on to the thermostat housing. And then I can check the oil and check the coolant. All right, so I got the radiator hose back into the thermostat housing. The clip is locked into place. There is this that I took off before. It just hangs right here on the side of the oil cooler. Oil filter housing. So there's that, and then just snap. That just slides over here, so I'll get that on. And there is a little rubber grommet over here that I gotta get in. I'll just pull it off of this one and get it in. And then I'll go ahead and check the fluids.